The Off the Bench podcast, college baseball tonight show. I am Daniel Ball. He's Jim Cross. We are being brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery, Chinook Seeds, and Jesus One Apparel. Jim, you're in Knoxville, man. Tell me what's going on with the baseball action, brother.
I mean, Daniel, could it be better? It doesn't matter if it's Tennessee or any other team. When Florida loses, it's a great day. When Florida gets meleeed, it's an even better day. You know, we talk about the off the bench effect. Let's start there. You know, Marcus Phillips, man, complete game. Of course, it only goes 7 innings, but nonetheless, complete game. He only gives up 4 hits, 1 walk. Daniel has 7 Ks, absolutely dominant, touching 95, 96. Just very impressed by the young man. And so when we talk about off the bench effect, we want to see guys right after we have them on Thrive to come here, see him do that, you know, and shout out. I got hooked up, sat right behind home plate. Got the clips. You can check it out on YouTube or Instagram, Twitter, all that. So you can see him doing his thing. But Tennessee as a whole, man, they got to the 7th inning and they said, you know, let's just end this thing early. Let's go home. I mean, I got live footage of what took place in the 7th inning.
Here's the 2-2, and that is a called third strike. Ball is crushed to right,
and it is over. So 10-0 run rule by walk-off, something that Tennessee has done repeatedly. Daniel, there's no doubt in my mind. I don't want to hear it from my LSU brethren. Tennessee is the number 1 team in the country.
I mean, if you can't look at these numbers they're putting up and not say that, then I question what you know about baseball, but I also question what games are you actually watching? You know, that kind of swept across into the ACC because Florida State picks up 2 victories today, one in dominant fashion, run rule, and then another 6-2 victory.
First base is loaded now. That's a fair ball. Inside the bag at third. Shmela scores. Second run scores. They will wave everybody. Oh boy, face plant. Harrelson dives and safe anyway.
I mean,
he's planting on the way around, baby. It don't even matter.
You could tell, like, that slide at home, that was just a lack of, like, energy left. He had 0 energy left as he got to the plate.
That's going to be fun between him and the teammates, but when you win by run rule, nobody cares.
Nope. And then, you know, more action in the ACC, some fireworks, brother, with Wake Forest.
Hard shot, that's fair down the line, into the left field corner. Here comes Kane Lewis. Wake Forest wins. Jacob Burley, the unlikely hero for the Demons.
I mean, Wake Forest are they sneaky good? Are we giving? I mean, I know we have great relationships with the players at Wake Forest and the coaching staff, but I don't know if the nation's really giving a lot of respect to Wake Forest. I know they're ranked and they know they're good, but do they know how good they actually really are?
Yeah, no, what I need to see is when they go up against Florida State or Clemson, because I feel like them, as well as North Carolina, who's not playing the best. That's why I didn't really say them. But I need to see them against those teams. Miami's a decent opponent. You know, Notre Dame, you know, last week, not really so much, but they're taking care of business. They're winning again in Game 3. So look poised to get the sweep. And Daniel, you know how it is, man. No matter who it is, when you're sweeping folks and taking care of business, especially when it's in conference play, that's all that really matters. But, you know, going back to the SEC, you know, A&M, I don't know what to say at this data point. At this point, Coach Early has got to be in the crosshairs. I don't think he's going to be coming on our show anytime soon because he's probably trying to stay away from all media, and it's because of things like this.
1-0. Fastball swing, a line drive, high and deep to right field, and that's to the bullpen! Grand slam homer, Will Hodo! And it's Alabama in front, 6-2, top of the 9th.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
I mean, grand slams in the 9th, back-to-back home runs in the 10th yesterday. There was an amazing catch by Laviolette, but unfortunately that doesn't score runs. They're still just not producing. Reeling.
Yeah, but part of it is the way that they've lost these games. You could at least have some type of like silver lining or glass half full, knowing like you're competitive and you're in these games. It's just some things happen, and some things happen sometimes. It's just the way the season has started and gone, like it's the last thing that you want to have happen.
If you go back to that loss in Houston, the one that blew up the 10-leg parlay, they were the last game. The bullpen blew it. They blew it back-to-back nights. They're not putting up runs. So usually, man, maybe it's hitting, maybe it's the pitching. That's the problem, Daniel. It's both. And that's a real problem because we know the SEC, I mean, each week, it's not fixing to get any easier for these guys. I mean, Daniel, like, I think it's time to face it. They're not going to come out of this like we thought. They may be a team that's scary to be in your regional, but I'm to the point where I'm really ready to say this early. They're not going to be a host team.
It's very clear, like they have some definite deficiencies right now, and that bullpen's got to get cleaned up. We'll see. It's going to be a long season if not. But South Carolina, my man, they get back on the right side. 11-6 win today. A great day at the plate for the Gamecocks.
That's a fair ball down the third base line. Petrie scores. It's an RBI double for Kennedy Jones.
I mean,
Ethan Latire coming around third now.
Bounce back. I'm not surprised by South Carolina winning, Daniel, but I told you the Oklahoma pitching is their strength, so I think it says a lot to bounce back, not and just win, but 11 runs, man. It's a statement.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm looking for South Carolina to take it tomorrow. I think they got the right pieces in place. I think today was a good win for them to put some momentum going forward into Game 3. So we'll see what happens between those guys tomorrow.
Yeah, no doubt. So Arkansas, it's 11-3, man. That game is all but over on Ole Miss, and so with that, I have my highlights ready. We talked about this, Daniel. The Loy brothers. I'm really running out of adjectives to talk about these two, man. The best way that I can think to do it, Bash brothers.
And he hammers this pitch to right. Sanford just watches this fly. And his brother shoots a missile out to left. Back.
And what he was like, look, man, you know me, like I'm not a scholar. Look, all I can tell you is they can play baseball. Flat out play baseball.
Hey, that's all that matters. All right. Vandy comes back. They got an 8-6 win today. Big bounce back game for them. They needed it. I talked about Vandy, and seeing where exactly they lay in the SEC, and they have been kind of right there in the middle tier trying to figure out what their identity is. But I think if they can pull off a win of a series this weekend, that puts them in the right direction. I think they're moving close to where they normally are, which is at the top.
I wanted to give you an update. I said 11-3, and I was curious, and it seems to be a home run derby as Arkansas now has 5 bombs. The Swayze showers are going down for the other team. So I told you I didn't have Ole Miss to win Saturday anyway. I had them winning the series 2-1. I like them having Mason Nichols this morning when we were talking about it. So nothing's changed from the way I felt about the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm the exact opposite. I think this is a good move in the right direction. I think Arkansas's now got their footing. They understand where they're at and what they're playing for. I don't know why it took them now to understand that, but here they are, hitting the ball well, crushing the ball, hitting home runs. Looks like they're gonna, I think they're in the 9th now, a couple outs away from sealing the deal and going into Sunday with a chance to win a series, and a big series at that. All right, starting with the Bulldogs. Georgia, Kentucky, Georgia. Tough loss, 10-7 today. Kentucky back doing their thing. I think Coach Mange has the opportunity now to kind of still fly under the radar, get his boys moving in the right direction, because I think what people are forgetting about is this team was in Omaha last year. Yeah, and Arizona State, they mount a big battery assault today. 26 runs, beating TCU 26-9 to even the series.
Yeah, it's just like it's both ours down at my house. Cool.
I mean, Daniel, that obviously wasn't really highlights from that game. But 26 runs, I mean, you got knocked out.
Man. Yeah, 26 runs. I mean, they let loose assault.
Think about this. The
fury.
night before, you reported back and talked about how good of a game it was. Part of it was great pitching. It was 3-2. It was a dogfight. And then here we are, 26-9.
I mean, hopefully they didn't use up all the runs in this game because they still got another one to decide the series. DBU, my university, they had a tough game. UTSA beats them, and I don't know if it's strange. So like when you look at series and you win a series 2-1, does it really matter when you lose that one game? I think what people get kind of fooled by is when they lose the first game or the second game, but they end up winning the series. It really doesn't matter, like in the overall grand scheme of things.
DBU, so when it comes to the series, D1 over the last few years in the committee, those teams like that, UCSB, they don't hold them out for losing a game like that as long as they win series, just like you. No different than they would in the SEC. So even though UTSA is not a good team to us, they are in their conference. And so they look at it as just a conference loss to take care of the series. So to your point, if DBU takes care of business, wins the series, they're not going to be held for this. They'll still be right there where they were in the rankings.
Yeah, and I think I said it before. You're going to look up at the end of the season, DBU is going to have 40 wins, and you're going to go, holy crap, man, that came as we expected. But it's also another one of the things, like in their conference, they're getting everyone's best shot. It's much like LSU and Missouri today. Like LSU's getting Missouri's best shot, whether they show up ready to play or not. Like they're going to be in a dogfight. So Virginia, thankfully they bounced back. They pick up a win, 10-8 today. I still don't see them being in the top 25 at the end of the weekend. I just think they're not
going to be in ours.
No, not at all. I don't
Were
think
they
they
even in this. I don't even
anybody.
remember. I don't even think they were in this week's.
Yeah. But last one, Stanford run rules Duke, and Duke is just not a very good team.
I lied. They were number 15. Sorry, I cut you off.
It's all good, but yeah, Duke is not a very good team. It's amazing how they go from just crushing baseballs last season and putting up an absorbent amount of runs to they can't even buy a win this year. It's crazy, man.
We talk about guests this week. Casey Evans gets the save. So just so you know, in game one of the Arkansas series, Connor Spencer got the save. The Ole Miss Arkansas. And then you just got Casey Evans. And then we obviously talked about Marcus Phillips. So all three guests this week thriving and off the bench. It's like, it is a thing. It's never not been a thing. No, it's just, I think good people who we seek out, good talent who we seek out, come on here. And it's just, man, I don't know, man. It's this vibe and it just works out really well. So, I love to see Casey Evans slam the door, but I had to highlight already. I mean, I tell you, Daniel, Josh Pearson, it never gets old.
To infinity and beyond.
And he hits one high and deep. Will it stay fair as it heads to the corner? You can pucker up and kiss that baby goodbye.
So, I mean, Josh Pearson, you've talked about that swing. It's so pretty. He continues do damage. Shout out to Bill Pearson and the, Pearson Hitting Academy. Just continue to do big things, him and his brothers. So you love to see it. LSU hangs on. We'll see if they can get the sweep tomorrow. But like you said, getting the series is the most important thing. And LSU has done that. The last thing to note, or two things to note, coming back around to Marcus Phillips, he is our IoT Performer of the Day, pitching performance of the day. You talked about it. I mean, he went the longest he's ever went in a game. Just dominant. It was never in question. He was never in trouble through the whole thing. And made it easier. Like it's a day where Tennessee's offense was not going. Obviously, they had the 9-run seventh inning, but it was 1-0 going into the seventh. So, we talked about it, Daniel, he had to be lights out.
Yeah, I mean, here's what it breaks down to: 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 walk. That's the deciding factor right there. I mean, he had 7 Ks and 1 walk, and he's challenging guys and they're just not able to do anything with them. So, tip my hat to Marcus. What a great performance against the number 7 team in the country.
And I'll say last thing, Daniel, I didn't think anything could ever match, 2023 when I was at Alex Box, knew all the LSU dads. We had this environment, we had these friendships, we had these tailgates. And then I wondered, coming off last year in Tennessee, so many families left. I did not know what it would be like when I got here. Yesterday was extremely fun. Today was even more fun. Obviously, you've seen the pictures. We cooked the gator. They gave me a jersey, which I showed you before this episode. I had the family pass, took pictures with all the guys. I got the tickets behind home plate, like we talked about. Numerous families coming up, talking about how much they enjoy the show. Numerous fans coming up, talking about how much they enjoy the show. I literally text you in the middle of the game and tell you I could be a season ticket holder here because the people are just so nice. And, of course, it helps that they're winning every time I'm there. And I'm not saying they win because I'm there. They haven't lost yet, so it has nothing to do with me. But when you're there and they're winning, like, of course, they're in a good mood, having fun. And I get to be a part of that culture and that happiness. And so shout out Knoxville, man. Like I said, I didn't think anything could match 2023 Baton Rouge, but here we are in 2025. Different place, different people, and it has the whole thing. They definitely got the grow the game mantra, and you just love to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. Tennessee, I mean, number one team in the country in my book. I mean, they are doing big things. And I mean, just what you picture a baseball organization to be like, from the fans to the players to the coaching to the university to just everything about the program, like it just speaks volumes. And growing the game, I mean, that family of at Tennessee.
I mean, it was announced today, Daniel. It was announced today when they got done with the prayer huddle. He literally said, if there are families that you know that are not coming to this, let them know. We have food for them. We want them in our circle. We want them to be a part of this group. They're trying to make sure nobody's left out.
Nope. And that's what it's all about. And that's why they continue to be good, because Jesus wins. And guess what? Jesus don't like ugly. So don't be ugly out there. All right, Jim, another great episode. We'll be back tomorrow night with College Baseball Tonight in Off the Bench podcast style. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Enjoy your night. Enjoy the action tomorrow, and we'll see y'all then. For Jim, I'm DB. This is the In Off the Bench podcast. We are out.